We've seen this amazing shift in how we use computers, from typing commands to clicking icons, then drag and drop with no-code platforms. But what if the next step wasn't visual at all? What if it was just talking? Have you ever wished you could just tell a computer what you want and it would just build it for you? Imagine creating real software, like complex stuff, without needing to code, just by explaining what you're after. Well, that dream, that big idea of making tech creation open to everyone, it's not science fiction anymore. Today, we're doing a deep dive into a company making this happen right now. We're talking about Lovable.
Yeah, Lovable. And they're not just another AI company. They're really leading the charge on something people are calling vibe coding. It's different from the old no-code tools, which often felt a bit limited, like filling in templates. This is more about AI really getting your intention, the sort of vibe you want, and turning that into actual working products. So our mission today is to unpack how Lovable grew so incredibly fast, look at their strategy, especially how they use different AI models, and figure out what their success means. For AI product development, sure, but also for the tech scene here in Europe. It's a fascinating story.
Absolutely. And to guide us, we've got some great material we're drawing from Lovable, building AI native products for everyone, plus insights from events like Tech BBQ, reporting from the Financial Times, and analysis from TechCrunch. So yeah, should be a really interesting discussion. Okay, let's kick things off with this vibe coding idea and the, frankly, explosive growth around it. Anton Osika, he's the co-founder, pitched Lovable at Tech BBQ with this really simple, bold promise. He wants Lovable to be the easiest place on earth to build software, period. No coding needed. Now that sounds ambitious, right? But it's more than just a slogan. It's about this vibe coding. The idea is you guide these advanced AI models, you tell them what you want, the look, the feel, the function, and they generate the code, the websites, even whole applications.
Exactly. It's not just dragging blocks around. It's communicating intent. You use natural language, maybe show it mock-ups, give feedback. The AI understands the meaning, the vibe, and translates that into pretty sophisticated code. It's a huge step up from traditional no-code.
And that ambition, that power, seems to be why their growth is just off the charts.
Oh, completely. The numbers are, well, kind of staggering. Get this. Lovable hit $100 million in annual recurring revenue. ARR. They did that in just 8 months.
8 months.
8
Wow.
months. I mean, think about that speed in the software world. It's almost unheard of. It really suggests they tapped into this huge, unmet need for easier software creation.
Right. People wanted this, but the tools weren't quite there yet.
Exactly. And then, boom, they raised $200 million in their Series A. That valued them at $1.8 billion.
Making them Europe's fastest growing unicorn, yeah.
That's the one. And it hasn't stopped. The Financial Times reported investors are already looking at a Series B, talking about a valuation around $4 billion. And Lovable hasn't even said yes yet.
They don't even need the cash yet, perhaps.
It seems that way. That kind of investor buzz, before you're even asking for money, just shows how much potential people see. It signals this isn't just hype. It feels like a real shift.
Those valuations are mind-boggling, like you said, but what really makes it stick is the user side, isn't it? The actual people building things.
Totally. It's not just VC money. They've got over 2.3 million active users.
Wow.
And importantly, 180,000 paying subscribers. That's a solid base.
And Osika's view on pricing is interesting too, right? He's not trying to squeeze them.
No, he's been quite clear. He says the pricing is set to cover their costs and fuel growth, not maximize short-term profit. It feels very user-focused, long-term.
Which probably helps build loyalty. And you see that in who's using it.
Yeah, it's diverse. There's a marketer who built a whole sales training platform on Lovable. Think what that would cost normally.
Right, a whole dev team budget.
Exactly. And it's not just non-techies. You have actual engineers using it to run small businesses, multiple businesses even.
So it's a tool for speed and efficiency, even if you can code.
Precisely. Osika had this great quote capturing it. He said something like, before, you could get a great first draft. Now you can build a full product.
Right.
It feels much more like working with a real developer.
That's the key difference, isn't it? From draft to full product. AI as a proper collaborator, that changes the game.
It really does. And that quote, that shift from draft to full product, perfectly leads into their, incredibly ambitious vision for the future. Osika talked to TechCrunch about building what did he call it? A cradle-to-scale platform.
Cradle to scale. Okay, what does that actually mean?
It means going way beyond just generating code. The vision is to support builders right from that first idea through prototyping and then all the way to running the actual business. operations.
So the whole life cycle.
The whole thing. They want to handle everything, front-end, back-end, databases, deployment.
Wow.
But also business stuff. He mentioned things like integrating payments, adding user analytics are on the roadmap. He even talked about potentially helping with company formation eventually.
So like a one-stop shop for launching a tech business.
That seems to be the goal. Consolidate everything a founder needs into one place, powered by AI. No more stitching together loads of different tools.
Okay, that's huge. And how are they enabling that? You mentioned an agent earlier.
Ah, yes, the agent they shipped back in June. That's a really key piece. Because it's not just waiting for you to tell it exactly what code to write. It's more proactive. An active copilot.
How so?
Well, it can do things like read your existing project files to understand context. It can try to debug errors it finds. It can search the web for answers or documentation if it gets stuck. It can even generate images for the UI.
Generate images too. Okay.
Yeah, and find documents or data needed for the app. So it's anticipating needs, troubleshooting, pulling in different types of content.
It's not just spitting out code then. It's more like thinking alongside you.
That's a good way to put it. It's an early version, of course, but it's definitely a step towards being this broader, smarter building companion for the entire process, a cognitive assistant for building.
That sounds incredibly powerful, debugging, web search, images. But you know, I can hear the skepticism from some developers. You often hear that AI-generated code can be, well, brittle, hard to maintain, breaks easily.
That's a common concern.
So how does Lovable address that? If they're promising full products, how do they ensure the code is actually robust and maintainable, not just functional? Is it just about review?
Well, Osika's take on it is quite pragmatic. He basically says, look, all code needs review before shipping. Human-written, AI-written, doesn't matter.
Okay, fair point.
His view is that human oversight and testing are still essential. AI speeds things up massively, makes it accessible, but doesn't replace the need for quality checks. It augments. It doesn't fully replace that final validation.
Right, the human in the loop. That makes sense.
And that pragmatism ties into another really strategic move they've made, being model-agnostic by design.
Model-agnostic, meaning they don't rely on just one AI.
Exactly. They're not tied to, say, just OpenAI or just Anthropic. They use multiple foundation models they've specifically mentioned, using Anthropic's Claude and OpenAI's latest GPT models.
Okay, so they pick and choose.
They can orchestrate them, yeah. But here's the interesting part. It creates this tension, right? Yeah. Because OpenAI and Anthropic, they have their own developer tools, Claude Code, Codex. They're kind of competitors in a way.
Oh, right. So Lovable is using the engines of potential rivals.
Precisely. But Osika argues this independence is actually their superpower. By not being locked in, they can mix and match the best bits from different models. He claims this delivers unmatched capabilities that a single provider couldn't offer.
Interesting angle.
And it helps them scale efficiently too, apparently. They don't need to build their own massive AI infrastructure from scratch. He put it pretty directly. Providers need to stick to their own models. That puts us in a better position.
So the strategy is to be the smart layer on top of the base models.
That's exactly it, the intelligent orchestrator. It's a bold play that could really shake up the AI landscape, shifting value from just having the biggest model to knowing how to best apply multiple models. It empowers builders who aren't tied to one giant.
That's really smart positioning. Choosing the best tool for the job, essentially. And alongside this flexibility, they also have these core principles, right? They're North Stars.
Yes, 3 core pillars: speed, security, and simplicity.
Okay, let's break those down. Speed.
It's about the whole development cycle, cutting time to market dramatically, letting users iterate and launch incredibly quickly, hours or days, not months.
Makes sense. Security. That seems crucial with AI code.
Absolutely paramount. They emphasize rigorous checks, sandboxing, ongoing monitoring, basically, building trust that the AI-generated stuff is safe and reliable.
And simplicity.
Keeping it intuitive.
Yeah.
Even as the AI gets more complex under the hood, the user experience needs to stay simple, accessible, no black boxes.
Right. Keeping those 3 balanced seems key to keeping users on board as the tech gets more powerful.
Definitely. It's all about trust, especially in such a new field.
And you know, with this kind of success, especially a platform company, the comparisons start flying. I bet people mention Figma.
Oh, inevitably. Especially after Figma's massive IPO. Figma changed design collaboration, right? Made it the standard.
Yeah.
But Osika seems pretty clear on Lovable's distinct path. He acknowledges Figwin transformed design, but Lovable is aiming deeper at the act of creation itself.
So not just collaboration, but the actual building.
Exactly. It's about making the whole process of building software as fluid as designing is now. And he stresses it comes down to listening to users, building what they need to create, not just chasing comparisons, empowering builders, fundamentally.
It's also really great to see this story having such strong European roots, but with global ambitions.
Absolutely. Founded in Stockholm, which is a real tech hotspot.
And their backers are spread across Europe and the UK, too. You mentioned Stefan Lindeberg, Frederick Helm, Greens Ventures.
Hummingbird and 20VC out of London, yeah. Plus some big-name angels like Nick Storonsky from Revolut and Sebastian Siemiatkowski from Klarna. That's serious validation.
And Klarna is actually a customer, right? Along with HubSpot and Photorim.
That's right. So they're not just funded by Europeans. Major European tech players are using them. It really shows their impact within the ecosystem here. It's a proper European success playing on the world stage.
And that impact goes beyond just Lovable itself, doesn't it?
For sure. Shamila Bankia from Don Capital put it really well. She said, Lovable success and that of other European AI unicorns is basically a success for all of Europe.
How so?
Well, obviously, there are the jobs, the investment. But she argues the cultural impact is huge. It genuinely lifts ambitions for founders across the continent. It makes people think, hey, we can build world-leading companies right here.
Yeah, that belief factor is important.
Totally. And what's really interesting is Osika's commitment to keeping Lovable based in Europe. They're building a team in LA, sure, for global reach. But he seems determined not to do the typical thing where European startups eventually move their HQ to the US. They want to prove you can lead globally from Europe.
And it seems like Osika is already reinvesting in that ecosystem too, paying it forward.
Yeah, he started angel investing.
Yeah.
He backed a Danish startup, Propane.ai, that do consumer intelligence, put money into their seed round.
Oh, cool.
And the founder of Propane, Dennis Greenleber, had this really powerful quote about it. He said, seeing Lovable succeed shows the Nordics can produce category leaders. His words were something like, with small teams, a global mindset, and relentless effort, you can still build a category-defining company. It's lit a fire in our ecosystem to see this happen at home.
Lit a fire in our ecosystem. I like that. It's not just one company winning, it's inspiring others. Proof that innovation isn't just a Silicon Valley thing anymore.
Exactly. It's becoming much more distributed.
So wrapping things up from this deep dive, it feels pretty clear Lovable is doing more than just making another tool. They're really trying to build a whole new way to create software, opening it up to millions more people by removing those traditional barriers of coding skill or huge resources.
Yet, from that vibe coding concept to the full stack model-agnostic platform, they are definitely pushing the boundaries of what AI can enable in product development. It's reshaping who builds and what gets built.
Which leaves us with some big questions to think about, doesn't it?
Definitely. And maybe this is something for you, the listener, to chew on. Firstly, as companies like Lovable make complex things like software development so much easier through AI, how does that fundamentally change who gets to innovate? Who succeeds? Are we going to see this explosion of founders from totally different backgrounds building things we couldn't have imagined? And then what new kinds of no-code or vibe code industries pop up next? When creating digital tools becomes this accessible, what other fields get transformed?
Yeah, good question.
And finally, maybe think about the impact of that model-agnostic approach. Does it force the big AI model providers to collaborate more? Or does it create a new layer of competition where companies like Lovable, the orchestrators, hold the real power? Lots to consider. The effects of what Lovable's doing, well, we'll be seeing them unfold for quite some time.